You're watching Chicago Bears now, just moments after a flat-out meltdown in the final 3-4 minutes. The Bears punted to Detroit down at their 4-yard line, or 6-yard line, 4 or 6, I can't even remember. And Detroit scores 94 yards, and Trubisky gets strip sacked, and the Lions score again, and the Bears lose 34-30. An absolute meltdown. We'll break this one down with you guys over the next few minutes, and wow, I'm at a loss of words for just how much of a meltdown. Like, you had to try to lose in the way that the Bears did, pretty much, and they found a way. They found a way, and they fall to 5-7, and playoffs are dead. A lot of things to talk about, and I'm going to ask you this: who are you firing first? I think someone's going to get fired over this. Type MN for Matt Nagy. Type RP for Ryan Pace. Type TP for Ted Phillips as well. I know you guys like to blame Ted Phillips, but I think Nagy or Pace are the two focuses here. Who are you firing first? Let me know down in the comments section. Man, this is a hard one. This is a hard one. And look, we knew that there were going to be questions this offseason. We knew that things were probably going to have to change regardless. But this was Nagy and Pace's last stand, in my opinion, and to blow a 10-point lead with less than 3 minutes to go, that is a hard pill to swallow. There is no doubt. Use hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Get your questions in. We got a couple supers lined up already. If you want to get in on the postgame show, go ahead and Super Chat. We will answer as many as we can. Give your hot takes. Give your analysis. Let me know what you guys are feeling, because this was a tough one. This is a very, very tough one for the Chicago Bears, and it probably ends your playoff hopes for 2020. So hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your thoughts in here. Let's start with Declan, who sent in a super. Thoughts on Mitch's starter for future? Much love. No chance. No chance. And the reason I say that is because as good as he played at times in this game, he gets strip sacked on the most important play of the season. Can't have it. His IQ is not big enough, especially in the key moments. 26-34, 267 and a touchdown, but that fumble, I mean, that potentially is the biggest play of the season. To fumble that away inside your own 15. Mitchell Trubisky will not be the starting quarterback of this football team moving forward. I am confident in saying that. He shouldn't be. He's had too many opportunities, and he just hasn't done enough with those opportunities. So for me, I got to go in a different direction. I got to try something else if I am the Chicago Bears, because Trubisky, Foles, whoever it is, you got to get a new quarterback. I've been saying it for months, and today was just even more proof of just that. King of Sam's, 5-11, baby. Good draft pick. Fire Pace and Nagy. So opposite ends of the spectrum there for Mitch. Look, the kid's tried hard. He's worked hard. He just doesn't have it, guys. He does good things at times, but yeah, like Trubisky's not the answer. And look, if it's time to fire Pace and Matt Nagy, I think I agree with you at this point. What am I going to say at this point? Like, at this point in time, Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, they've had enough time. They've had enough chances. You start 5-1 this year. 5-1, and you lose 6 in a row for the first time since 2002. Clean house. You know, I still think Matt Nagy could be a successful head coach in this league, but it probably shouldn't be here. It probably shouldn't be with the Bears. He probably doesn't deserve another chance, because the way this team loses a lot of the time is excruciating, and it's a reflection of coaching a lot of the time. I've been a Nagy defender. I've said Pace should have been gone before this year, but you lose 6 in a row after starting 5-1. You have a chance, even after losing 5 in a row, to get back to 500 against a Detroit team that just fired their coach and GM. You can't lose this game. You're up 10 with less than 3 minutes to go, and you lose to Detroit at home. It's over. It is over. It is over. It is over. And that is why I'm going to ask a different version of the same question. Is it time to fire Nagy and Pace? Type Y for yes, type N for no. It's yes. You got to try something else. For sure Pace, but at this point, I think you fire them both. Like, it's just, you know, it's over. I think this era of Bears football is over. They've tried to make it work, and it just has not worked out the way the Bears wanted it to. And that's unfortunate, but maybe it's clarified some things. You can go in a different direction, because man, it's not good, especially after this. Kyle is next up. What the heck is A-Rob doing stepping out of bounds before the first down? That was bad. That was bad for a guy who wants $20 million a year and still deserves that, by the way. I'm not going to say one play changes that, but Allen Robinson is a guy that you expect more out of. 3rd and 5, got to get to the sticks. I get it. You're trying to get out of bounds. Trubisky, the coaches are saying you got to get to the sidelines, but you got to know where the first down marker is, dude. You're number 1 receiver. Had 75 yards today, 71 in the first half, pretty quiet after halftime. That catch where he was a yard short of the sticks was his only catch in the second half. I'm with you, man. That's a bad play from him. There's no defending that. You got to get the first down there, and then you got a few chances at the end zone. You still have the timeout left at that point. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing from Allen Robinson. I expect more out of him. He expects more out of himself. That's just not good enough. That is not good enough from your number 1 receiver. A lot of blame to go around today. I'm not going to put it all on that one play, but yeah, that was a bad one. Got some other questions and super chats lined up. We will get to those in just a moment, but first, I want to tell you guys about our sports betting partner, Bet Rivers. Bet against the Bears the rest of the way because they continue to find ways to lose. That is what I say. You can get going at chatsports.com/betin or chatsports.com/betil. Harrison, why are you sending me multiple links? Well, if you're in Indiana, go to chatsports.com/betin. If you're in Illinois, it's chatsports.com/betil. You can sign up and deposit from anywhere that you are, but to place a bet, you must be in one of those two states. So go to those two links, chatsports.com/betil or chatsports.com/betin. Man, it's not good for the Chicago Bears right now, but you can bet on make some money on betting on or against them the rest of the season. Noah O'Neill is next here. Thoughts on A-Rob running out of bounds? Could have gotten the first down. Same question there. Just wanted to get the super chat on the screen. I made my thoughts clear. That's just bad. It's bad awareness. Bad awareness for a guy who's the number 1 receiver and has been around for way too long. That's a bad play. There's no doubt about that. It's disappointing, and I guarantee you he'd be the first one to admit that, and I'm sure he will in the postgame. Eamon Elias, do you think we should trade anyone who has value except Roquan Smith? You know what? I would be curious if you could get some draft assets, because that is one thing that the Bears have not had in recent years. And you know what? I don't know, man. I don't know if the Bears are just a quarterback away at this point. The defense isn't playing as good right now. We know the offensive line is a bit of a mess, although they've played better the past couple of weeks. But overall, I would be willing to trade some pieces. Now, am I ready to trade Khalil Mack? That's what Anthony T wants to know. Should we trade Mack for picks? I can't believe I'm saying this. If I can get a top 15 pick for Khalil Mack, I'm probably trading him. Now, you're going to eat a lot of his salary cap, but if you can get a top 15 pick for him, don't you have to consider it? You need a quarterback. You need offensive line help. I think I would consider that. By the way, where was Mack today? Did he do anything? He was not very involved from what I saw. I know he was banged up coming into this game, but yeah, I need more. I need a whole lot more from Khalil Mack moving forward, and just a disappointing effort from him. I'm not saying it's all his fault. I'm not saying, I would trade him for anything, but at the end of the day, he's your workhorse edge rusher, and he hasn't been as productive recently. That's just a cold, hard fact. Who do you blame for the Bears' loss? Let me know down in the comments section. Who do you guys blame for this one? A lot of blame to go around. That 2-minute drill to cut it to 3 before the 2-minute warning, that was bad by the defense. Chuck Pagano has to be better in those situations. Be willing to blitz some. He does not blitz nearly enough. And then obviously Trubisky, the strip sack. Bad. Just a bad time to have that. A lot of blame to go around, but if you can blame one person, who are you blaming on the Bears' loss in this one? There's certainly a lot of blame to go around in this ballgame. Now, look, we're all upset. Tough game, bad loss, horrible loss. Could lead to coaching and GM changes, and maybe that's better in the long run. But win, lose, or draw, we're going to have you covered here on Chicago Bears Now. That's why I encourage you guys to subscribe. Hit that big red button. Look, it sucks right now, 6 in a row. The offseason can't get here soon enough because I think at this point the playoffs are pretty much dead. I know the Jags and Lions were tied at 24 late in that game. Hopefully the Jags are able to win it. But look, playoffs are dwindling by the week. It's pretty unlikely at this point. And quite frankly, this team doesn't deserve to go to the playoffs. But we're going to keep plugging out videos for you guys, so stick with us. We'll have fun. And come off season, it's going to be fun. draft, free agency, trades, all kinds of stuff, coaching search potentially. Should be a good time. So we will see what happens. Rob wants to know, does Nagy get fired? And that's all those reasons for why you should subscribe. We've talked about this some. I think it's the end of the road for him and Pace. I really do, unless you win 4 in a row and make the playoffs somehow. But I don't think that's likely. And quite frankly, I would consider firing or making a big move like that tomorrow. Just because of the way you lost today. You're up 10, you're feeling great about yourself, and you blow a 10-point lead with 3 minutes to go. That's what losing teams do, man. You need new leadership. You need new leadership. It's not all on Nagy. I'm not going to blame him for everything. I think Pace could have done a better job of constructing this roster, especially at quarterback and offensive line. But yeah, I think if they decide to move on, I can't really argue with it at this point. It just is what it is right now, and that's just the situation the Bears find themselves in because they put themselves in this situation. So that's unfortunate. We'll see what happens over the next 24 hours. Should be interesting. Hot take: the Bears' defense cost us this game. It's not a hot take. Defense sucked. You give up 34 points. Sure, the last 7 was on Trubisky, but still, this defense gave up well over 400 yards in this game. Third down to the Lions. Let me see here. Let me pull up the final stats here on third downs. I know it wasn't pretty for Chicago defensively, but you give up 34 points, and your defense just gets torched, especially on key situations. That's not a hot take. I think it's a fair take. I think this defense the last 2 weeks has not been the same. Obviously, Green Bay is a tough opponent, and Trubisky turned the ball over 3 points last week. But today, outside of the strip sack late in the game, the Bears' offense was good. Matt Stafford goes for 402 yards and 3 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson runs for 2 touchdowns. Marvin Jones was open all day long. This defense was not good enough. Like, they're not even close. Giving up 34 points, this team is built to win in the 20s. You give up 34, you got absolutely no chance. So I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's an absolutely fair take. And yeah, it's just not good. I'm getting flustered here, but yeah, it's bad. If you want everybody fired, type F. Shout out to EP Tom for getting that on the screen there. If you want everybody fired, just type F in the comments. You want to get rid of the coaching staff. You want to cut Trubisky. You want to get rid of Trubisky after this year, which they're going to do anyway. Type F in the comments. That is what happens when you lose a game like this. And that's what should happen because that's just not an acceptable outcome based on how this game was going through literally 3 3/4 quarters. It was total control from the Bears, and they blew it in the final 3 minutes. It's just not an acceptable result. I think a lot of guys are getting fired in the very near future. All right, we got time for a couple more here. Let's see. This is another one. Why did the Bears run on 4th and 1? Makes no sense. Okay, you get 1 yard in the first down. Cool. What, you have 11 seconds left and you have to take your last time out and you have 2 shots at the end zone? I get it. It's a yard. You got to get the first down, and it sucks that Allen Robinson went out of bounds short. There's not enough time to run the football and use your last time out there. You have to throw it. Now, you can throw a 3-yard out or something like that and not, throw it to the end zone, but running the ball there does you no good. No good. Sure, you get a fresh set of downs, you get the first down, but you still have to get into the end zone. It's not like the Bears were down 3 and could take a field goal. They were down 4. That was bad game management. It was bad field awareness for Allen Robinson. It was bad game management from Nagy and Bill Lazor, whoever made that call. That was a bizarre decision. I can't believe they did that, but they did. And there's a lot I can't believe from this year that has actually happened. Bob Johnson, do we go back to Foles? No. You guys know I'm not a Trubisky guy, but I've seen enough of Nick Foles. You play Mitch the rest of the season, and then you get a new quarterback next year. That's what you do. Hell, you want to play Tyler Bray? Go team tank mode? Why not tank at this point? Go 5-11. That might be the thing that makes the most logical sense because playoffs are a pipe dream at this point, and even if the Bears found a way to sneak in, they're not doing any damage. So yeah, I would not go to Foles. I would play the rest of the season out and then see what they decide to do with this head coach and GM this offseason. Running on 4th down shows the Bears don't trust Mitch. I think there's something to that. If I guarantee you this, if that's Matt Stafford on the other side, 4th and 1 in that exact same clock situation, they're not running the ball. No chance. They are not running the ball to get a yard. They will throw it. They will put the ball in Matt Stafford's hands, and they would take their chances there because, again, there's not enough time to run the football. That is my main point with that whole situation. So, yeah, I think there's something to that there, Connor. A couple more. King of Sam's, fire Ted Phillips. Sure. I keep saying, I mean, he's a glorified accountant, but if you want to get rid of everybody, type F. I'm down with that. Fire everybody. Start fresh this offseason. Start fresh now. If you want to fire people tomorrow, I got no problem with that. All right, last one here, L2 Beast, then we're going to sign off. Panthers OC for new coach. He was Joe Burrow's coach in LSU also. He's on my list. I don't have the graphic, but Joe Brady, who is the guy you're talking about, is someone I would call. Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma, you're not going to get him, but I would call him. Eric Bieniemy, same deal. I don't think you'll get him, but he's worth a call. Brian Dable from Buffalo, their OC. He's done great wonders with Josh Allen. I would call him. And there's a couple of other guys I would call as well if I was the Bears. I think there are plenty of good guys out there you could go get if you want to go in a new direction, which, again, I think at this point probably makes the most sense because the Bears have lost 6 in a row for the first time since 2002. There it is, 34-30. Appreciate everybody who submitted their questions. The Bears fall to the Detroit Lions, 34-30. 6 games losing streak for the first time since 2002. There might be major decisions being made over the next 24, 48 hours when it comes to Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of that. I promise, if one or both of those guys gets fired, we're going to break down a video of it here on Chicago Bears Now. Appreciate everybody who watched today. Appreciate everybody who watched our watch party earlier today as well. Had a lot of fun, but it was not a fun ending. I'm signing off here on Chicago Bears Now.